Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to tackle a common issue that many developers face when working with Jetpack Compose removing hidden padding in rows. If you've ever found yourself scratching your head, wondering why your layout isn't quite lining up as expected, then this video is for you. We'll be diving into the world of Jetpack Compose, exploring what causes this hidden padding, and, more importantly, how to get rid of it. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of the concepts and steps involved in removing this pesky padding. So, let's get started. So, why does this hidden padding occur in the first place? Well, when you create a row in Jetpack Compose, it doesn't just consist of the individual elements you add to it. There are also some behind-the-scenes components at play that can affect your layout. One of these components is the intrinsic size of the row itself. Think of it like a container that holds all your elements together. This container has its own set of properties, including padding, that can impact how your elements are laid out. Now, when you add elements to your row, they're not always perfectly flush against each other or the edges of the row. There might be some tiny gaps in between, which can add up and cause this hidden padding effect. To illustrate this concept better, imagine a row as a bookshelf with multiple books on it. Just like how there's usually some space between each book, there's also some space between elements in a row. This space isn't always visible, but it can affect the overall layout. So, how do we remove this hidden padding? The key is to understand that you need to target not just the individual elements, but also the container itself, the row. By adjusting the properties of the row, you can effectively eliminate this extra padding and achieve a more seamless layout. One way to approach this is by using modifiers. Modifiers are essentially special functions in Jetpack Compose that allow you to customize the behavior or appearance of your element. In the case of rows, you can use a modifier to adjust its intrinsic size properties, including padding. For instance, if you want to remove all padding from your row, you could apply a modifier that sets the padding to 0. This would essentially reset the row's internal spacing, allowing your elements to line up perfectly without any gaps in between. Another approach is to use the padding parameter directly on your row component. By setting this value explicitly, you can override any default padding values and achieve a more precise layout. It's also important to note that the order of operations matters when working with rows and modifiers. Make sure to apply your modifier or adjust your padding after adding elements to your row. If you do it beforehand, you might end up overriding those changes accidentally. To summarize, removing hidden padding in a Jetpack Compose row involves understanding the intrinsic size properties of the row container and adjusting them accordingly. Here are the main points to remember. Rows have inherent spacing between elements that can cause hidden padding. Modifiers or the padding parameter can be used to adjust this spacing. The order of operations matters. Apply changes after adding elements to your row. That's it for today, folks. We hope you now have a solid grasp on how to tackle that pesky hidden padding in Jetpack Compose rows. Remember to experiment with different approaches and keep practicing. The more you work with these concepts, the more intuitive they'll become. If you found this video helpful or have any questions about what we covered, please drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if it helped clarify things for you, and consider subscribing to our channel for more content on Jetpack, Compose, and Android development. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next one.